Reddit stock continues to surprise even its most bullish fans. On Monday, it tacked on another 2.5% to close at $220.75. That's another leg higher after a week that already saw it pushing into uncharted territory. This isn't just a single-day pop, it's the latest chapter in a rally that's been building since their second quarter earnings, and it's becoming one of the most talked-about stories in the market right now. At the core of this move is Reddit's earnings beat, which has now had more than a week to sink in, and the market still hasn't cooled on it. Revenue came in at $500 million for the quarter, up 78% year-over-year. Net income was $89 million, a stark improvement from losses a year earlier. And perhaps most impressive was the 84% jump in advertising revenue, fueled by AI-enhanced targeting and better ad tools. On top of that, daily active users rose 21% to 110 million, with international engagement up 32%. Those numbers alone could justify a move higher, but what's kept Reddit climbing well past its initial earnings spike is the story that sits behind them, the pivot to becoming a major player in AI-powered search. CEO Steve Huffman has been very clear that Reddit is no longer just a platform for discussion threads, it's positioning itself as a search-first platform, one that uses its massive library of user-generated content to deliver direct, AI-powered answers. This vision is already taking shape in the form of Reddit Answers, a conversational AI feature that went from 1 million to 6 million weekly users in just a single quarter. That kind of adoption rate is rare, even in the fast-moving world of tech. And it's not just about keeping people on the platform longer. Reddit is finding ways to turn that AI-driven engagement into real money. Part of that comes from advertising. By understanding the intent behind a user's search query, Reddit can deliver more relevant ads and do so at premium rates. But there's another revenue stream that's getting a lot of attention: licensing its data. Deals with Google and OpenAI generated $35 million in what Reddit calls other revenue last quarter. That might seem small compared to their ad business, but the margins on licensing are attractive, and the potential scale is huge if demand for high-quality training data keeps growing. All of this feeds into why analysts are turning more bullish. Truist and Raymond James have both raised their price targets to $225, citing confidence in Reddit's execution and its growing importance as a data provider in the AI ecosystem. Other firms, including Morgan Stanley and Guggenheim, remain optimistic, and that kind of consensus can help keep institutional investors engaged in the trade. But there's also a more subtle driver here. Reddit is increasingly being mentioned in the same breath as other AI winners like Meta, Microsoft, and even Nvidia, not because it's building foundational AI models, but because it's supplying the kind of human-generated data that makes those models more useful. In a way, Reddit has managed to carve out a unique position in the AI value chain, and the market is rewarding it for that. Of course, we have to acknowledge that there's always a risk when a stock moves this far this fast. Reddit is now trading at a price-to-earnings ratio north of 128. That's rich, even for a high-growth tech stock, and it leaves very little room for disappointment. If user growth slows, if the AI monetization story stumbles, or if the ad market weakens, the stock could be vulnerable to a pullback. Execution is going to be key. It's one thing to talk about becoming an AI-powered search engine. It's another to actually make that experience sticky enough that people start using Reddit search bar the way they use Google. That means refining the technology, ensuring the answers are high quality, and keeping the community engaged rather than alienated by too much automation. There's also the question of how big the licensing business can really get. While the deals with Google and OpenAI are a strong proof of concept, Reddit will need to expand that roster and negotiate terms that keep the revenue meaningful. Given the value of its data set, that's possible, but it's not guaranteed. And then there's the broader market environment. AI has been one of the hottest investment themes of the past 2 years, but it's also been volatile. Sentiment can turn quickly, and when it does, high multiple names tend to get it first. If we see any kind of rotation out of AI stocks, Reddit could find itself caught in the downdraft, even if its fundamentals remain intact. That said, the market doesn't seem ready to rotate out just yet. If anything, the combination of strong earnings, credible execution on a new growth strategy, and the AI narrative has given Reddit a level of momentum that's hard to ignore. The fact that it's closing in on all-time highs after an already massive run shows that traders and long-term investors alike are finding reasons to keep buying. For the week ahead, there are a few key things to watch. First, can Reddit hold above the $220 level? If it can consolidate there with steady volume, it could set up for another push toward those $225 analyst targets. Second, keep an eye on any new announcements around AI tools or data partnerships. Even a small licensing deal could serve as a catalyst in this kind of environment. And third, look at broader AI sector sentiment. If the big names are rallying, it could help keep Reddit's momentum going. Longer term, the real question is whether Reddit can transition from being seen as a high-growth advertising platform to being recognized as a critical piece of the AI infrastructure. If it can pull that off, the valuation may not look so stretched in hindsight. But that's a big if, and it's going to require both innovation and careful community management. For now, though, Reddit has earned its spot in the AI conversation. It's not just riding hype, it's delivering numbers, signing deals, and rolling out new features that have the potential to reshape how people find and interact with information online. Whether you're a trader looking for momentum or a long-term investor betting on the future of AI-powered search, Reddit is a name worth keeping on the radar. As always, the market will decide if this story has more chapters to write in the near term. But after Monday's close at $220.75, one thing is clear: Reddit is no longer just a place where people talk about stocks. Right now, it is the stock people are talking about.